Now, for those of you that follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I made a couple of posts recently in the middle of November explaining that I was going to Stuttgart in Germany, and more specifically with Mercedes, where they revealed some of their latest tech on the upcoming CLA 2025. Here's everything we know so far, and most importantly, why I had this strapped to my face. All of this and much, much more. Let's get into it. So, first things first, Mercedes revealed the new CLA concept kind of car back in January 2024, at the start of the year at CES in Las Vegas. That's the Consumer Electronics Show. And I got the chance to look at the CLA concept personally, like hands-on, right up close, literally just a few weeks ago. And it's really interesting to see, you know, where that kind of design was back then and kind of where it's going now. Because right now, the only thing we've seen of it is a camouflage version that looks like this. But the concept is very interesting for sure, with its super futuristic looks, the light animations on the front, solar panel roof, and what will be their new multimedia system called MBUS, powered by this very clever chip here. Basically, this will be like a kind of newer version of Command or MBUX that everyone has in their cars at the moment. Oh, and I should add, yes, I know this is a kind of electric kind of version at the moment that I'll be talking about just for a second, but don't worry, there is a petrol version as well with some very, very interesting and clever tech. We'll get to that in a minute. So here's what we know today. Now, the design isn't officially out as it's still undergoing testing, but it is very, very close. So early next year is when the kind of camouflage, this sort of kind of look will come off. But Ola, the CEO of Mercedes, revealed recently the new lights, and yes, they have even more Mercedes stars now. So you know, like a lot of Mercedes kind of models, like my own car has kind of these little mini Mercedes on the front. And yeah, now they're going to be in there. Although I don't know what the grille looks like on the new CLA, that's not kind of been revealed yet, but yeah, even more Mercedes logos just to remind you what you're driving. I guess it's taken inspiration from the E-Class, which has those kind of rear design logos at the rear. On the inside, the car will either have this sort of design layout or something along the lines of a super screen like in the E-Class, but we will have to wait and see kind of what that looks like, as that hasn't been revealed just yet. So here's what I do know. And that involves the engine and electric motors with their potential range. So very, very quickly, electric first. So Mercedes have been testing the Vision EQXX with efficiency at the forefront. So they actually managed to achieve with this concept car about 747 miles in one charge. That's quite cool. So what they've done is taken everything they've learnt from that and put some of this tech into this new car, the CLA. They're aiming for this new CLA to get a range of up to 466 miles, that's about 750 kilometers, with charging speeds as high as 320 kilowatts, making it literally one of the fastest out there. To give you guys an example, here's what you can do in 10 minutes. Mercedes have managed to achieve a staggering 186 miles added in just 10 minutes of charging. In fact, recently they've even set a new record with the furthest travelled in 24 hours on electric with as little charge stops as possible, travelling over 2,400 miles at Italy's Nürburgring. Basically, it's the largest circular track on planet Earth. In fact, Mercedes are even referencing this car as the 1 litre car of the electric age. So you know how like 1 litre cars are quite fuel efficient and don't, you know, take that much fuel. They're usually more on the efficiency side of the spectrum. This is the kind of thing they're implementing with this new CLA. This is going to be one of the most economical EVs out there. And this is why I was in Germany. Mercedes had invited me to check out some of the latest tech showcased on this new CLA that people aren't normally allowed to look at this early stage, and having an Apple Vision Pro strapped to my face. I was able to see and look around this rather interesting drivetrain which is going to be on the new CLA. It even features a gearbox, yes, a gearbox on an electric car with first gear 11:1 ratio and second gear 5:1 ratio. This will basically help with efficiency at higher speeds and that sort of thing, and one of the reasons why they were able to achieve this massive distance in 24 hours. Now, I mentioned it's not all electric. There's also some tech coming to the combustion engine as well, so if you opt for petrol. More specifically, this is a brand new state-of-the-art M252 engine developed completely in-house at Mercedes, which will be a 1.5 litre kind of hybrid system. I'll explain more about that in a minute. This will all be built on a platform called the Mercedes-Benz Modular Architecture, MMA for short, so everything will be brand new and never seen before. Basically, and oversimplifying, it's going to be about 17% lighter compared to Mercedes' current 4-cylinder engines, so for example what's found in like an A-Class at the moment. Its output 134 horsepower, 161 horsepower, or for the range-topping 188 horsepower with 4MATIC systems built into that one. And I quote, offer diesel-like levels of efficiency, but on a petrol. This sounds pretty cool. Sadly, they didn't disclose exactly what MPG it kind of achieved, but quoting, it's like near diesel levels, that sounds pretty interesting. But a quick word on their hybrid stuff on this engine. Now, the name of this tech is to be confirmed, but this model will feature some form of self-regeneration hybrid tech, meaning you won't need to plug it in, so it's kind of a bit like a mild hybrid, and all electric driving will be possible. That sounds like magic to me. Or like a self-regenerative hybrid. So for the stats, it'll have a 27 horsepower electric motor that can reach speeds of up to 62 miles an hour and a very small 1.3 kilowatt hour battery pack. So don't expect this to cover like vast distances on electric, it's more to assist the engine and just kind of reduce emissions and kind of give you a bit more of a boost compared to what Mercedes currently do with their mild hybrid stuff. Also, due to the way it's been designed, most of the braking will actually be done via brake recuperation. So you'll actually probably find your brakes will last for longer. All of this stuff is neatly integrated into this, which when expanded out, is the new electrified 8-speed dual-clutch transmission, which is going to be known as an 8F-E DCT. All this combined is basically going to give you a boost in acceleration, a seamless start-stop experience, greater fuel efficiency, and allows pure electric driving when compared to like a mild hybrid. So yeah, whether you're looking at an electric car or even just a petrol engine, there's some pretty cool tech coming out in the world of Mercedes next year, which I can't wait to get my hands on. Oh, and the last point as well, all of this will be developed in-house by Mercedes and will even meet Euro 7 emission standards as well. So yeah, it sounds like a whole world of tech here, and yeah, I just want to give a huge shout out and thanks to Mercedes for inviting me out so I could check some of this tech out because it looks rather promising. So guys, you have to let me know what you think in the comment section down below on this new and upcoming model called the CLA. So all of it sounds very, very interesting, and I can't wait to check out one of my personal favourites, which is the multimedia system, because that is essentially the brain of the car these days. And yeah, Mercedes is going to call it MBOS. I haven't seen anything in person yet, so I don't know what that kind of looks like, but yeah, I will be checking that out and making multiple videos on that car, because this will be the first car with a new multimedia system, which I guess logically speaking will mean that future models will then have this MBOS system, so there's going to be some interesting stuff coming on this channel very, very soon. So guys, let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for watching. I need to crack on with next week's video. Speaking of this Friday's video, there's another one coming this week as well, so don't worry, I'm not skipping a week. There's one coming at Friday 4 o'clock, so keep an eye out for that one. It's a fun one. Anyway guys, see you soon.